Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am going to be doing another foundation video, but today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 high-end foundations. I did do a top 5 drugstore foundation and I will link that down below, but today I wanted to talk about some of my really nice, luxurious foundations that I have been loving for this season, and I use it year-round, but there's some that I really love during the fall and winter time. So let's get started. The first product I'm going to talk about is this full coverage foundation, and I know I have mentioned it in a lot of my videos. This is the Este Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and the color I have it in is 3W2 Cashew. During the summertime I use the color Wheat, but this is a little bit more yellow and complements me better in the fall time. This is a full coverage foundation. When you put this on, you're not going to see anything that's on your skin, and I really like this foundation because if you use it with a beauty blender, it looks really nice, but it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look like you're wearing like layers and layers of makeup on it. It just looks really natural, but it also gives you that nice flawless coverage. So this is the Double Wear Foundation, and it doesn't come with a pump, but I just put this pump on there. It is from MAC. You could just buy it. I think it's like anywhere from like $5 to $10, and it fits on the Este Lauder Double Wear. The next foundation I am going to be talking about is the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. And I showed this in my last video, my Get Ready With Me video, and this again is another full coverage foundation. And the color I have it in is Cafe. And I recently found this foundation probably I want to say like 5 or 6 months ago, and I have been using it non-stop. It comes with a pump, and this is a pretty thick consistency. This is probably the thickest consistency in all the foundations I'm going to show you, but one pump of this gives your whole face enough coverage. I hardly ever use any more than that. Sometimes if I'm doing a video and just want a little bit more, I'll do like 1.5 pumps, but this gives you a flawless airbrush coverage. It just looks amazing. And between the Este Lauder and the Becca, they're pretty similar, but this one looks a little bit more luminous, I guess, in my opinion. And I have dry skin, so I typically mix in like a serum or something like that just to give more luminosity to my skin, but this is a little bit more creamy, and this is a little bit thicker and more like mousse-like consistency. So those are the two full coverage foundations. Moving on to a foundation that I picked up a few months ago. This is the Diorskin Star Foundation. This is my newest foundation that I have been obsessed with. This will give you medium coverage, and then if you want to add more layers, you can potentially get full coverage, but I like this for the medium coverage just because it gives you a really nice finish on your face, but it doesn't look cakey. And sometimes I like to wear foundations like this for like everyday use, just so when I'm going out, I don't want to look like I have a full face of makeup on, and this is perfect for that. It looks very natural, and I've heard people that have had oily skin love this, and again, dry skin. I think it is really good for dry skin people just because it doesn't cling on to dry patches or anything like that. And the color I have it in is 040. And they have a pretty good variety of colors in this line, so I'm sure you can find your color. And again, this is the Diorskin Star Foundation. The last two foundations I want to talk about, these are a little bit lighter coverage, but these are the ones that look the most natural in my opinion. The first one I'm going to talk about is NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. I used to wear this years and years and years ago, and I bought it again because I've heard people rave about it, and I'm not sure if they changed their formula, but I fell in love with this foundation. This is the foundation I am wearing today, and this gives me such a natural finish to my skin, but it also gives me pretty good coverage. I don't believe that it's sheer at all. I feel like it gives a pretty good like medium coverage in my opinion. It just looks completely natural and it's not drying, and it just gives a really nice luminous look to my skin, and I love this foundation. The color I have it in is Syracuse? Lord, I don't know. I will put everything down below, or I'll put like a little note right here. This foundation is pretty good if you have dry skin. I don't think, if you have oily skin, I think this might be a little bit too much for you, just because initially I think it'll look fine, but I think the longer you wear it, you might tend to get a little bit oily, especially around the T-zone. And I do notice that a little bit, but I'm pretty dry, and especially in the fall and winter time, this is my go-to foundation. Alright, so the last foundation I'm going to mention is by Smashbox, and this is the Studio Skin 15-Hour Hydrating Foundation. And this foundation gives a really nice coverage. It probably gives medium, it does give medium coverage, but I have built this up to give full coverage, and it looks amazing. I haven't worn it for 15 hours, but I have worn it for 10 to 12 hours, and it is completely flawless when you put it on, and it lasts a really good time. I don't have to blot, I don't have to do anything with this foundation, and it does say hydrating, but I don't notice that it makes your face extra oily or anything like that. And I have heard people that have had oily skin talk about this, and they love it just as much. The color I have it in is 2.3, and they have a pretty good variety of colors to choose from with this, and I love that this also comes with a pump. It's just so convenient, and I typically use 1.5 pumps of this and use the beauty blender, and it covers my whole face. And it's pretty, the consistency of it is not too thick, and it's not liquid. It's just right in the middle to where you know it's going to last, but it's not going to look cakey. So this is my other foundation that I go to. This I particularly love for springtime, and not so much summer, but definitely like end of winter and beginning of spring, just because it gives you enough hydration, and it just feels so nice on your face. It doesn't feel like you're even wearing any makeup. So this is by Smashbox, and all of these foundations that I have shown you, you can find at Sephora, so that's convenient. So those are my top 5 foundations, high-end foundations that I have been loving all year round. And if you guys have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I would love to hear from you. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!